Hello everyone, welcome back again to Liverpool Report today. We've got the latest updates on our beloved club Liverpool, but before we dive in, make sure to subscribe so you never miss a moment of Liverpool Report news. Let's get started. Darwin Nunez appeared to delete a tweet that was critical of Arneslot on the eve of Liverpool's potential title-winning moment. Nunez has struggled for game time under Slot this season, and the Liverpool manager was forced to respond to suggestions he has been benched for financial reasons. The Uruguay international has started just 17 times this season and has not featured for the Reds since the 3-2 defeat by Fulham at the start of the month. Nunez was not in the squad for the win over West Ham and remained on the bench last week at Leicester, prompting rumours from Portugal. Slot was reported to be avoiding playing Nunez in order to avoid triggering a transfer instalment of £4.2 million to Benfica. The Liverpool manager rubbished the rumour in his press conference on Friday, ahead of Sunday's match against Tottenham, where they can secure the Premier League title with a draw. However, Nunez has poured more fuel on the rumours by writing and then quickly deleting a post on X. In a post to his 827,000 followers, which was screenshotted by fans, he wrote, "No wonder I didn't play more, because the last game I started in the Premier League went well. And suddenly the 25-year-old, who scored on his last start in the 3-1 win over Southampton last month, took the post down and replaced it an hour later with a photo of himself and Alexis McAllister enjoying Mate, a popular South American caffeinated drink. He captioned it, 'Good morning,' but the replies made clear his first post hadn't been forgotten. Bro is acting like nothing happened," one fan wrote. "We saw it, Bruder," another added. "We ain't dumb, bro," a third wrote. Nunez has 7 goals and 7 assists in 42 games across all competitions, but hasn't convinced Slot of his ability. He has been linked with a summer transfer, and Slot might not appreciate having to answer questions about him ahead of their potential crowning as champions. Do you always believe what journalists say? Not always. Me neither, he said on Friday, when asked about the Nunez rumours. Sometimes you should, but sometimes it's better not to believe everything that is written about players. This is completely new to me, and I've said many times that I'm working at a club here where it's really nice to work. So mainly sporting directors are judged by the players they bring in. For me, it's very important to have a great working environment, and I have that with Richard Hughes. The last thing he would do, as I expect working with him for 10 months, is tell me, if you play him, it would cost us this much. That he would never do. I don't even know if it's true, yes or no, because we never talk about that. He never interferes with a lineup. It might be true, but if a journalist says it, we have to. Take it with a pinch of salt. Liverpool manager Arne Slot believes Manchester United will be signing a quality player in Matheus Cunha if they are able to purchase the Brazilian. The Wolverhampton Wanderers forward has enjoyed an impressive campaign, despite spending the majority of the season battling relegation. However, Cunha has made no secret of his desire to depart Molineux, stating he intends to follow my dreams in a now-deleted Instagram post. Many of England's top 5 have been circling around the ex-Atletico Madrid man, with United, Liverpool, Arsenal and Aston Villa expressing an interest in his services. It's understood that Cunha's representatives welcomed United's interest, which could potentially see his salary be doubled to £180,000 per week after the club made their first move for him earlier this week. Considering his previous admiration for the South American, Slot may be disappointed if the Merseysiders miss out on him. In February, Slot was asked about Cunha, who has contributed 14 goals and 4 assists in 28 Premier League appearances this season. The Liverpool boss said, "Matheus Cunha is a quality player. He has the quality to play for one of the top 5 teams in England. If you go to the Dutch league and look at the team in 17th place, there is no player who could play for Ajax, PSV or Feyenoord." A matter of days after Slot's words, Cunha found the net at Molineux, but was still on the losing side, as goals from Luis Diaz and Mohamed Salah secured a 2-1 victory for the Reds. Reports from the Manchester Evening News claim United are eyeing moves for Cunha and Ipswich Town striker Liam Delap. However, it also states that United will need to sell some of their current forwards, with on-loan stars Marcus Rashford, Jadon Sancho and Antony expected to be sold. United's blunt attacking force means the club looks set to finish the Premier League season with a minus goal difference for the second consecutive campaign. It's understood that Cunha has a £62.5 million release clause in his deal with the Midlanders. If the Red Devils were to meet that figure, it would be the first time the club have spent more than £60 million on a player since Sir Jim Ratcliffe became a minority owner. United have endured an arduous campaign in the Premier League this year. They look set to finish in the bottom half of the table for the first time in the Premier League era. Their only hope for salvation lies in the Europa League, in which victory would assure them a place in next season's Champions League. However, if United were to be knocked out at the semi-final stages by Athletic Bilbao, Amorim is not convinced that some players will be deterred from joining the Reds. The ex-Sporting Lisbon manager recently said, "It's Manchester United." What I feel is that there's a lot of players that want to play for our club. I know that if you look at our club in the moment with all the problems with the staff, people going changing coach, the results, it looks like a little bit of a problem. But we have a clear idea. That is the easiest part to explain to a player. And then it's Manchester United. Everybody wants to play for Manchester United. When asked if Cunha is one of the players United are eyeing, Amorim replied, "I will not say anything about Matheus, because if I say one time, I will have to say for any situation that is yes or no. So I will not comment about that. It's hard to predict what is going to happen in the future." Arneslot admits Conor Bradley would have already started more games for Liverpool were it not for Trent Alexander-Arnold amid speculation that the England star will quit the Reds to join Real Madrid at the end of the season. Alexander-Arnold, 26, is in the final few months of his contract and has been a long-term target for the Spanish Giants. The right-back has been free to negotiate with overseas clubs since January and is expected to move to the Bernabeu in the coming weeks. Bradley has impressed while deputising for Alexander-Arnold this season and has been tipped by many to establish himself as Liverpool's new first-choice right-back should his teammate move on. And Slot has hinted at how highly he rates the young Northern Ireland international, who has seen his opportunities restricted by two things recently: injuries and Alexander-Arnold. He's getting closer to 90 minutes, and it's normal if you play twice, 70 minutes, the chance is getting closer, Slot said of Bradley on Friday. But we are taking very good care of him, as he had two injuries very similar. Let's wait and see if he can play. It's going to be important for him to play many games in a row if he wants to become a better player. But we have Trent here, and that's the only reason he hasn't done so already. That might be his next step. But as long as Trent is here, it might be a difficult step for him to make. While it remains to be seen if that will be an issue much longer with Alexander-Arnold closing in on a move to Real Madrid, Slot hit out at the defender's critics last week. Speaking after the right-back's dramatic late winner over Leicester, Slot called out those who have questioned Alexander-Arnold's commitment, saying, "The headline today should be the goal he scored and not about his contract, but it would be ridiculous if someone argues his commitment for this club. The work rate he puts in. No one can argue his commitment to this club, but the headlines should be his great goal and not his contract." I don't think it only meant a lot for him, for everyone who loves Liverpool. A big moment, and big players like to have big moments in their career. Virgil had one last week. Players of the quality of Trent, these players step up when most needed.